Hey, welcome back. This is Albert Rukwaro, and thank you for tuning in. Today we talk about tribe and how tribe has been defined and how it continues to affect our public affairs. And the tribe that you come from, Africans come from, there are 3,000 tribes in Africa, more than 3,000. Some countries like Nigeria have more than 300 tribes. Kenya has 43. Some countries like Ethiopia, 86. South Sudan, 64. Tanzania, 120. There's so many tribes and so many communities in Africa. And sometimes it feels like the Tower of Babel was right smack in the middle of Africa, and everybody who was scattered from there, and all these tribes fell off from the Tower of Babel. But I don't know. There's no historical evidence so far that I've seen, or biblical for that matter, but it feels like that. There are so many different communities, different tribes in Africa that you can't escape. You're born into a tribe. You're given a name. The name you get comes from that particular tribe. Even the easiest names in the world that any people would have taken. Take for example my friends, the Kamba in Kenya. They have a name like Mutiso. It's a very easy name, beautiful name, Mutiso. And there's no other community in the world that thought that could be a beautiful name for their children. And the Kambas did that, and any Kamba called Mutiso anywhere in the world is proud that he came from the Kamba people, and he should be. I am proud that I came from the Kikuyu people, and nobody should make me feel ashamed about it. And this idea of positive tribalism and negative tribalism, who is there to judge? Who is there to tell us what is positive and what is not positive? The issue is tribe should not be a factor in public affairs. But in the way the countries are set up now, the way our countries, our nations are set up, there's no way that tribe will not be a factor. There's only one country that has tried to do that, and that's Tanzania. And that took quite a bit of sacrifice on the part of the people. It took a lot of work from the former president Julius Nyerere. All hats off to him. He made Tanzania quite united. Unfortunately, he also messed up because he really opposed the unity of the entire continent. He thought we could do it piece by piece, slowly by slowly, and that was a mistake. I'm with Kwame Nkrumah on that. I am not with Julius Nyerere on that. But as far as eliminating tribe as a factor in the running of Tanzanian affairs, I'll give him the props for that. But now, what do we do at this point in our continent? Because the Tanzanian experiment is not going to work. It will not work anywhere else. Most likely, you will be promised, we'll come and fight tribalism. I hear politicians talking about that. We'll fight tribalism. Tribalism is bad. Let's not do this. Let's not do tribal issues and tribal appointments. And those politicians themselves are trying to make themselves tribal kingpins, because that's the only way they get to bargain for higher office. So you're trying to use your tribe to go up while saying, let us not be tribal. It's a circus, and it's useless to engage in it. Let's not lie to ourselves that are saying, I hate tribalism, or let's eliminate tribalism. That makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. It has not happened since 1960s. It's not going to happen today. And calling people tribalists or accusing a certain politician of being a tribalist is a waste of time, because it won't change anything. Politicians are politicians. They will use tribe to get to power. Whether you like it or not, they will do it. I would do it too if I was a politician, and that is a way to get to power. You would too. Be honest. If you had the chance to be the tribal kingpin of your tribe, and that makes you become a player on your nation's national affairs, you most probably would. But now the problem with that is that it leads to unaccountability. leaders are not held accountable, because whatever they do, whether they loot public funds or whether they mismanage public affairs, as long as they are coming from a particular tribe, that tribe will support them. Those people will be hardened like goats, and 80-90% of them, yeah, they will go with a guy who is identified as their leader, and it is just the way it is, and there's no point of fighting it that way. What we need is to figure out another way of fighting these things. It is very sad when you look at a country like South Sudan. I love South Sudan. I have a soft spot for that newest nation in Africa. They're one of the newest nation in the world. But I look at it that the years have been independent now. Maybe 15 years, I'm not sure how many years, but they are mired in tribal politics, and these tribal politics are just being used to loot their resources. Today, with the amount of money that comes out of South Sudan, with their petroleum and their gold, every child in South Sudan should be going to school for free. And not only for free, but in modern buildings and with very highly qualified teachers. We should be getting those geniuses out of there with high marks where they can join institutions of higher learning and doing other things. But no, they're stuck in the villages, no schools. The best schools are schools that are just little mud shacks. And there's no reason for that. Then the only reason that happens is because of the tribal politics, the Nuer versus the Dinka and all those other tribes. If I'm to go to my own country, Kenya, tribal politics has been our reality for since independence back in the 60s, and there's nothing we can do. We talk about it. Oh, there's a policy in the government for combating tribalism and such other nonsensical statements and policy statements like those that are made by politicians who themselves are trying to become kingpins of their tribes so that they can become higher ranked politicians in that and get a better bargaining chip. And all these, they don't bring anything to their particular tribe. No, they bring stuff to themselves and their friends and their cronies and their families, but not tribe. If anything, they just give the tribes handouts, and a lot of hot air nonsense. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. You can make the people feel guilty about it, the people whose leaders are now leading. For example, in Kenya, you can try and make Kalenjin people feel guilty of tribalism, or the Kikuyu people who are also sharing in that government, of like they're guilty of tribalism, but that's useless. They're not. They're just who they are. They support their guy because the system in Kenya is set up to where your guy is your guy and you support your guy. 90% of the people will do that, and you can't beat that. You can't legislate against that. You can't set up laws against that. So why even bother about it? Why even talk about it? Why demonize people for that? In Kenya, we have a leader of the Luo people, and he gets a lot of votes from those people. And you can't say those people are tribalists. No, they're just supporting their person. In America, for example, Barack Obama, when he ran for president, he got almost 90-something% vote from black Americans. Did we accuse them of being tribal? No, that's their guy. So it's really a position that is neither here nor there. But when he became president, the systems in America did not mean that he would favor them. Okay, and that is where we fail in America. In Africa, we think that our leader will favor our people. It doesn't work that way, and it will never work that way. The problem is that now what happens is that the leaders start relying on that tribe for votes and for power, And once they consolidate that tribal power, now they're free to do anything they want. They cannot be held accountable by anybody. They will kill even and get away with it. They will steal and get away with it. They will do anything. They are free. There is no accountability. And when there is no accountability, there is corruption, rampant corruption. And so you see these countries, the people who know how to play that tribal game are the people getting to become billionaires and very rich people and powerful. But what can you do about it? Nothing. Well, until now, let's think about what we can do about it. The only way to finish this, to neutralize the power of the tribe in the running of our public affairs, is to eliminate those borders. If we have leaders who are coming from different parts of the continent, different parts of the of Africa, it won't matter. You are a Kikuyu, or you are an Ashanti from Ghana, or you are an Igbo from Nigeria. It won't matter. You have to work with everybody else. And for you to get re-elected, or for you to fulfill your pledges or your promise, you have to work with everybody. And people themselves will realize that the power now is not coming from my kingpin. My kingpin is really a nobody when it comes to the entire continent of Africa. My kingpin has to work with another kingpin. These kingpins will just have to be eliminated, because countries will now form coalitions with other countries and form a federated government. And that is the only trick that will solve our problem of tribe as an organizing factor in our public affairs. And if we don't do that, we will continue talking about what we've been talking about since the 60s. Oh, let's kill tribalism. Tribalism is bad. I hate tribalism. Oh, this one is a tribalist. Oh, that one is a tribalist. Tribalism. We'll do that for the next 30 years. And nothing will change, my friends. We just have to bite the bullet and agree that these countries were set up by people who are foreigners, and these people used our tribal divisions to actually conquer us. And now we need to remove those things and establish a new order for our people, an order that automatically neutralizes the power of the tribe. That doesn't mean that you will stop being who you are. You will even be more proud to be who you are. You will do things even better, because you won't have the burden of putting people in power as a tribe. You won't feel like you need to. So I'm suggesting that we start thinking again about tribe. Let's not demonize each other, for who we are. Mutiso, why would you demonize Mutiso or anybody else because of who they are? You're proud to be your tribe. You're proud of the cultures. You're proud of the language. You're proud of the heritage. All that. So don't feel like you should be constrained by anything. But then it shouldn't matter as a factor in public affairs. That is my message today. And I want to thank you guys for all the support, my subscribers. We hit a very important milestone. We got 50 subscribers already. And 50 is a lot, man, guys. But thank you. We need to continue watching and sharing and commenting so that we get to 100. This is the road to 100 subscribers. I hope this video finds you well and that it provokes some thought in you. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.